Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Laura. If you're new here, welcome. I think you're beautiful today. You look glowing, you are fantastic, and you are highly attractive, so thank you for being here. I'm just gonna start posting whatever I want on YouTube. To be honest, I did a lot of pick-a-card readings, lots of psychic readings, and I will continue to do those things. But I don't know, I just want to discuss other things that I'm interested in. It's a free world, gosh darn it. I'm gonna post whatever I want. And today, I just wanna have an unscripted chit chat about polyamory. So grab yourself a warm beverage. I'm drinking coffee, as always. I feel like this is always my beverage of choice. For those of you who might not know, polyamory is essentially when you have an open heart to love and perhaps be in a partnership or some other type of romantic connection with more than one people at a time. And polyamory isn't cheating, okay? If you are in a monogamous relationship with someone and you're committed to them and you know, say to each other, we're not gonna cheat on each other, we're gonna remain loyal, and you go ahead and cheat on them because you're polyamorous, I hate to break it to you, you're not polyamorous, you are just a cheater and a liar. We are talking about ethical polyamory. All parties are well aware of what's going on here. You have your boundaries, you have what you want, what you're interested in, and you go ahead and start romantic connections outside of a relationship. Also, just want to chime in, if this is not a lifestyle suitable for you, like if you can never see yourself being polyamorous, that's totally fine. I'm just here to give you my personal opinions and perspectives. I'm not trying to force it on you, okay? Polyamory is definitely not for everyone. Being polyamorous, you might have multiple long-term committed romantic partners, you know, just like a monogamous relationship. The depth of emotions there, the commitment is there, all of those things are there, but you have more than one person like that. It could also look different to other people. There might be another polyamorous couple that is a throuple, meaning 3 people are all dating each other equally. And then, you know, there might be another type of polyamorous person that has one committed partnership and they love each other, but you know, they casually date outside of the relationship, meaning they might enjoy hookup culture, or they might, you know, just have fun with people but not necessarily get into a long-term relationship with them. Polyamory comes in so many different shapes and forms, but the basis of it is that you are ethically free to engage in romance outside of your one relationship. So why did I decide to be polyamorous? To be completely honest, I think I was always polyamorous. I genuinely feel like that's just naturally who I am. And in the past, in some of my past relationships, I was monogamous, okay? And it's interesting because I was like hardcore obsessed with like being secure, being loyal. I have never in my life cheated on anyone. And I was like hyper-focused on making sure that I wouldn't be cheated on either. For example, in past relationships, I would feel highly uncomfortable if my boyfriend at the time would, you know, have a really close, intimate friendship with another girl who was attractive, things like that, you know? And I would try to control that situation. I wasn't perfect in my past relationships. Neither were my exes, that's for sure. But what's interesting is that I would always find myself in these situations where, yes, I don't want you having these deep connections with ladies outside of our relationship. However, it's almost like I wanted to share my boyfriend with whoever at the time. Like, I've been in several situations where I had a boyfriend, we were monogamous, committed, and I would encourage them to kiss my friends and, you know, if they wanted to, do romantic things with my friends. But the thing about it was I wanted them to be 100% transparent with me about it. And, you know, I wanted to be there for it, but I was still monogamous and, you know, making sure the relationship didn't go further. And so a few boyfriends later, I met my current partner. We were monogamous. And we have a really, really healthy relationship, to be honest. Like, and even when we were monogamous, it was super duper healthy. We communicate calmly and clearly to each other regularly. If there was ever a problem in our relationship, we would always talk about it. And so one day, I was just being very transparent about my feelings, and you know, I had some concerns because I feel like when you're in a long-term relationship, whether it's just long-term, marriage, whatever, I don't believe that someone is the one, and I don't believe that it's healthy to assume that your partner is going to be everything and anything for you. It's just not the case. I've never in my life met or heard of a relationship of two partners that met every single one of somebody's needs. I never heard of a couple meeting 100% of their partner's needs ever. And because you can't just clone yourself and date yourself, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's different. And I think it's unfair to try to change someone to be different from who they are just to suit your needs. And so I was kind of at this impasse in my relationship because, you know, naturally over time you get comfortable, and I was starting to realize, like, I can remain committed to this awesome person. I never in my mind wanted to break up with this person, my current boyfriend, because he's amazing. Like, it's so healthy, and we're like literally the same person, almost. So obviously we're different, but I never wanted to break up or anything. And so I'm at this impasse because I'm like, okay, so I can be committed, eventually get married, hopefully, and grow old with this person and, you know, not have all my needs met. Or the awful option, which I would have never done, would be to have all my needs met by cheating on them. Not to say that their sexual behavior is why I opened the relationship up at all, by the way. But you know, I feel like a lot of people find themselves in that situation. And so I mentioned those issues. Yeah, we briefly mentioned, you know, dating other people, or just having that curiosity about seeing other people. Not even dating other people at first. I think it was like having an open relationship where we can like hook up with other people. But my thing is, I was never into hookup culture. And if you are, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you're into that. Me personally, I don't get that much satisfaction from it. I'm like demisexual. I like having emotional connections with people. It's just not fulfilling for me to have a strictly sexual relationship. We used it, like, we didn't use the openness because every chance that I had to use the openness, I didn't want to take it because I'm not into hookup culture. And then so I had that discussion with him. I'm like, listen, if like I can't do that. Like, I want to be at least friends with someone, good friends with someone, yada yada yada. And then several discussions later, here we are, we're polyamorous. And one of the best decisions that really helped our relationship was reading this one book. The book is called More Than Two. It is by Franklin View, I think that's how you pronounce that, and Eve Rickard. This is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to promote this book. It is just genuinely a really good read. Even if you're monogamous and you're totally not interested in polyamory, which is fine, by the way. It's totally fine if this isn't your speed. It's a good read either way because there is so many like really healthy relationship tips in here, and I feel like it's really interesting to read it even if you're monogamous, just to see you know, what it's actually like to be polyamorous. And if you're polyamorous and you're new to it, or even if you're experienced in it, it's still a good read because it gives so many real life examples of problems that come up in polyamory, because it's not a perfect relationship structure. Nothing is perfect. And there's just so, like, I feel like after reading this book, all of my relationships in my life have become so healthy because it just really gives you real life examples of healthy communication and, you know, problem solving in relationships, and, you know, everything you need to know about polyamorous relationships or about just having healthy communication in your monogamous relationship. I feel like in this society, we've all, like 95% of us have grown up under parents who didn't have a healthy relationship. Like, every single person I meet is like that, at least in America. I don't know if it's the same in other parts of the world, but I just really feel like anyone around my age, we like did not have good examples growing up for what a healthy romantic relationship looks like. So it's important as you enter your adult years to teach yourself what a healthy relationship looks like and find examples of what that looks like. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep attracting these really bad toxic relationships. That's what happened to me. Anyways, I feel like since I went polyamorous and I learned about what that actually looks like and what healthily looks like, I've been so much happier. Like, I just feel like there's no pressure on any of my relationships to be more than what I am, or to put pressure on somebody else to be more than what they are. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a partner, which I will keep anonymous, who was asexual, for example, and I am not asexual. And because of polyamory, I don't feel like I have to put pressure on them to give me what I want, you know? And it's just so freeing. It's like you can enjoy the relationship for what it is and not force it to be more than what it is, you know? Like, I've also been in a very like companionship type of relationship, which was totally beautiful. We're like best friends, really snuggly, kissy, romantic, things like that. But the whole overly romantic, passionate aspect of relationships weren't there. And, you know, I felt like I was missing out on that. So, it's just really nice to not have to force someone to be who they're not. And it's really nice to enjoy a relationship, for what it is. And if you feel like something's missing from that relationship, you can get another partner. I will say there are some examples in the media that of people who are like, oh yeah, I'm polyamorous, but it's kind of really unhealthy. And one of these popular examples, which I cannot stand to watch, is a polyamorous couple where the guy, and this is always in heterosexual relationships, the guy, you know, is polyamorous. He can have sex with whoever he wants. And then the girl, who is, you know, usually bi, is only allowed to do things with other girls because her partner doesn't want to see her with other men. And it's just like, is that polyamory or is that being controlled? Like, I don't like examples like that because it's not free. It doesn't have the spirit of polyamory, which is to really explore what you want in relationships outside of the relationship. I feel like a lot of genuinely polyamorous people have really big hearts, and this is kind of why I was attracted to it. It's just like, I love to love, and I have an unlimited amount of love in my, well, it is a little bit limited because honestly you only have a certain amount of time in the day, okay? But like, I don't know, I want to be surrounded by multiple people that I love. I've always been attracted to that type of lifestyle. You know, just have a community of amazing best friends and partners, and, you know, to just love freely without constraints or restrictions. And I feel like if you're like that, this might be the lifestyle for you. There are obviously some drawbacks to this lifestyle though. For example, when you have multiple committed long-term relationships, you have to delegate your time very wisely. Like, because you only have so much time in a day, and some partners may get less time than others. For example, a common scenario is you have like a live-in partner that you live with, and, you know, they get all of the pros of that, which is like, you know, seeing each other every day, waking up to each other every day, and, you know, just doing the boring things in life together. Whereas another partner, you might not see them as often, but when you do see each other, it's very exciting, you know? You have like a weekend getaway with them once a month, or you have a really fun date night every week. So, and you know, those two partners might be jealous of what the other one has. So jealousy does come up, by the way, too. I think one of the key things with that is just to handle it responsibly and to communicate about it without trying to control the other person, you know? Like, hey, you've been giving a lot of time to your other partner, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting a little jealous. During this time, is it okay if you just reassure me a little bit extra and, you know, maybe give me just a tad bit extra love just so I feel comfortable and get through this jealousy? That is exactly how you work through jealousy, so healthily. as opposed to saying like, you've been spending a lot of time with that person and I'm getting jealous, I don't want them in your life anymore. That is an unhealthy way to deal with your jealousy. There's just so much about polyamory that we can talk about. So if you have any questions whatsoever, or anything you want me to discuss or give my opinion on to you, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. I would love to do that. Polyamory isn't just having sex with random people all the time. I mean, if it is, that could be it for some people, not for me. It really is just opening your heart to more than two relationships, and I think it's very beautiful. When I travel to the higher realms, I'm you know, a psychic, into all that spiritual stuff. I saw my higher realms, or my heaven, where all the people that I loved was there, and there was no jealousy, you know? Even my exes were there, and I could enjoy the love that we had together. My current partners are there, and I'm like currently enjoying the time we have together in the higher realms. So I just feel like I want to make my current reality more like the higher realms, where there's no jealousy, and you know, I can just love freely and, you know, live my life freely. So I don't know, I like this lifestyle. It's definitely not for everyone. And it might not be for you, and that's totally fine. I just wanted to share a little bit of my life and my perspective on things, because that's what the internet's all about, seeing how other people live. And you may or may not agree with it, and that is totally fine, as long as you respect other people's decisions and how they live their life. Could be totally different than how you would ever want to live your life. But just keep in mind, you know, it works for me, it makes me happy. And there are plenty of polyamorous people out there. Some communities, different societies are polyamorous. So it's not new at all. People back in history have been polyamorous. Many different cultures and civilizations, you know, the Vikings, they had multiple love affairs if they were married, and it was fine by their culture, at least if you were a guy. I mean, I'm not too educated on that, but yeah, it's not new, and it just respect everybody who's different from you, okay? If you saw this video and you're interested in polyamory, but you're in a committed relationship right now, I definitely think it's worth talking to about your partner. It is a scary conversation to initiate, I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. I remember the first time I told my boyfriend, who I became polyamorous with, that I had a crush on someone else. That was a hard conversation to have. Or when I went on a date with someone else for the first time, that was a hard conversation to have. It's not comfortable having those conversations, but it is healthy. And if you feel like you can't bring these things up to your current partner because they're gonna yell at you or punish you for bringing it up, punish you for having genuine human feelings, then I think it might be worth asking yourself, is this a healthy connection if I can't talk to them about anything? And you might be surprised. You might think that they'll be mad, but they're actually cool, calm, and collected about it, because that's what happened to me. Like, I thought they were gonna freak out, and they're just like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm like, what? What? Are we agreeing? Like, why? I thought that was gonna go way worse than it did, so definitely worth bringing up though. If you're in any type of relationship, monogamous, polyamorous, the key is to communicate clearly, effectively, often, and just be honest about your feelings and be honest to each other. That's the main thing. So yeah, if you have any other questions or curiosities, leave them in the comment box and I'll get back to them. And I also would be interested to know, is this a type of lifestyle for you? Is it not a lifestyle for you? And you can give your reasonings or concerns. I just ask that you remain respectful. Like, I don't want anyone being like, I would never, you know, be polyamorous because that's the devil's work. Like, I'm not really interested in that opinion. But if you have a personal opinion for your personal life, go ahead. Leave it in the comment box, okay? And you can go ahead and like this video if you want to help me out. Check out my other content on my channel if you want, and if you like it, you know, feel free to subscribe. Welcome to the community, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Bye.